All right, folks, you asked for it, and I'm finally giving it to you. This video is the world premiere of the Auto Trendline drawing tool. Now, I'm going to show you how to take the Auto Trendline drawing tool to capture these exact lows and these exact highs that you can see I've highlighted in this chart. I'm going to show you how to capture these exact values in any market, Forex, futures, stocks, and I'm going to show you how to do it to the exact tick. So let's go ahead and fire this up. What's up, traders? It's Mark here at Dino Trading. So I figured I'd put this video together for you, and I have a feeling you're going to be pretty excited to watch this video. I know I am. This is going to be my world premiere on something that you guys have been asking me forever, and that is the Auto Trendline drawing tool that connects pivots. Right now, for those of you guys who were lucky enough to get your hands on it, while I was building it, the feedback's been great. Thank you so much. And now I can finally demonstrate this for you guys. And keep in mind, this tool that I'm going to show you as we progress through this video is for lazy traders like myself, right? I physically don't have time to be drawing trend lines by hand. It's just a nuisance. And so that's why I put this together. All right, so let's take a look at some real-time examples. So the first thing you got to do, you got to take this bullshit candlestick chart and with one click of your mouse, make the chart look like this, right? Clean, organized, easy to read, and the signals are what I call fucking no-brainers, right? It's just, you look at these three signals. This is literally from the most recent session. You look at these three signals, one long signal, one short signal, and one long signal right there. You had three signals all day. And the retracements that we love happened every single time in all three instances. Right there, and right there. Right? And that's what I tell people, right? 2 to 4 signals are ideal. You don't want 100 signals a day, and you don't want only one signal a day, right? You want ideally 2 to 4, because you know that when you have the dino bars on your chart, these signals are going to be extremely powerful, right? On all markets, futures, Forex, stocks, okay? So what I'm going to show you in this video is we're going to go backwards. We're going to isolate this bar right here. Let's try to isolate that bar right there. All right, so that's our signal bar, okay? We're going to take a look at this one. We're going to try to take a look at this one. And we're going to try to take a look at this one, right? So far, so good. Nothing new here, right? This is all stuff you've seen before if you've seen any of my previous videos. All right, so when we isolate the bar and we capture the levels, the high and the low, can you guys tell me what we do next? I'll give you a couple of minutes. Hope you're able to manage that. What we got to do is we got to go to the split screen side by side, just like this, right? We got the dino bars on the left and we got our T-bars chart on the right. So just to recap for you guys that have never seen this before, this entire trading system is based on what I like to call the big picture versus the small picture. Regardless of your style of trading, you always need to know what's happening on the big picture, which is the chart on the left, the dino bars chart, and you use that chart to take a direction, right? That's all this is. This chart tells you always which is the right side of the trade to be on. You're either a buyer or you're a seller. There are no other options, right? So in the T-bar chart, that's what we use to physically take our exact entries. And many times it nails the low and it nails the high to the exact tick, right? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So step one, when you get this side-by-side approach, what you have to do is you have to physically draw this zone in the T-bar chart, just like this, right? Again, so far so good. This dino bar long signal that printed, I have physically drawn in the T-bar chart just like that. Now, I'm not saying you guys have to physically draw it, right? It looks good, you know, it looks visually accurate when you're looking to take your entries, right? Again, you don't have to draw it. You could simply just draw the zones, like you could draw lines like this, capturing the high and the low, but I recommend you get good at drawing the actual box, simply because, like I said, when you first get your hands on this system and you're playing around, it's going to be like night and day compared to anything else you've ever got your hands on. And so drawing these physical boxes in the T-bar chart, in the smaller time frame chart, you're going to really shorten your learning curve to becoming a master at this system. All right? And now that you've drawn the box in the T-bar chart, now it's okay to go ahead and maximize it so it looks like this. Don't close the dino bars chart, right? Never close the dino bars chart. Always make sure you keep an eye on it. All I'm saying is you can kind of take the focus off and now keep the focus on the T-bar chart now that you know that within the context of this high, I'll draw that, and this low, you are simply looking for longs, right? This is what I call having the edge in the market and being on the right side of the trade, right? Retail traders, most retail traders do not have this kind of edge. However, all professional traders do have this kind of edge, right? So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get to the meat of this video. I'm going to show you the auto trendline drawing tool and how you can use it to capture the exact low or the exact high in any market. All right? And I'm not just saying that. I'm going to show this to you right now, okay? So how this works is you right-click in your chart and you find the drawing tool in your list. And the window is going to look like this, right? All you have to do is turn it on, right? It's going to ask you a question. Do you want to draw the trend lines? Question mark. All you have to do is set that to true, and that's how you turn on the trend lines. Easy peasy, right? And now, guys, I want you to watch what's happening in real. There you go. There's the first trend line that was automatically drawn. Right? It draws it in green so that you know you're only looking for longs, and it pinpoints and captures that pivot point. You can see that pivot point right over here, right? So we're going to watch this. We're going to wait for this to print, and we're going to see if the trend line does in fact draw in real time. There you go. There's the second one. Trend line got broke to the upside. There was your signal to go long. Right there. Right? So let me slow this down for you and kind of walk you through what just happened, right? When you load the auto trendline drawing tool, all you have to do is sit back and let the drawing tool do the heavy lifting for you, right? You already know within this high and within this low you're looking for longs. How do you look for longs? Well, you draw the trend line. Right? Now, in this case, the robot trend line draws it for you automatically. So if you rewind this video and watch the very first trend line, you can see that it was connecting these 2 points just like that, right? There was a pivot point right there and a pivot point right there, right? Now, that trend line is going to stay until the next pivot point, which is this one, gets drawn. When this one gets drawn, then all the previous stuff that was drawn gets deleted, and we are now focusing on the current trend line, which is the one you saw break to the upside, exactly what we were looking for on our longs, right? So when it does break, two things happen. There's a loud audio alert that takes place, and an arrow, a blue up arrow, gets printed telling you this is the exact place you have to go long, and all you got to do is look to the left on where to put your stop. Your stop goes in at the previous bottom pivot to the left of the blue arrow, which would be right there. That is your stop. So folks, can you see what happened on this trade? Right? Can you see how simple, how easy, but most important, how effective this method actually is? Right? If I squish this chart in, these are all the areas where the retail traders are fussing around with their heads up their asses, right? They're trying to go long up here, market gets stopped out. They're trying to go short down here, market stops them out, right? This area right here is where and why retail traders get murdered in the market, right? When this dino bar printed, you were one of the few people on earth who knew to be on the lookout for only longs. Shame on you if you try to go short when you see this nice green dino bars pop in, right? We knew exactly where to get in, and we knew exactly where to push our stop. So if I comb through to the right, and let's really zoom in and see what happened here. If I show you what happened on this trade, can you observe and see clearly what happened on this trade? Right? We had one sweet spot on where to take the trade. The auto trend line did all the work for us. We went long in this area right here, which represented on the Dino Bars chart this area right there, right? So we got in at the bottom of this long retracement bar, and this thing did nothing but go straight up for 40 points, almost $4,000 on a two lot on just one trade at almost the end of the day, right? This entire up move looks like this on the T-bars, right? So if we go back to the Dino Bars chart, what I call the big picture chart, all right, if we comb through and look at all the signals for the day, and keep in mind there were only 3 of them, right? If I isolate, once again, this short signal right here and this long signal right here, okay, everything I just showed you on the T-bar chart, which is drawing the box, drawing the zone, letting the auto trend line do the work for you, do you think you could replicate that on this short signal that printed right here? Right? Do you think you could do exactly what I just did on that short signal? How about this long signal over here? Right? Let's turn our global cursor on and see. So this bar finished, you can see, at 8:38 a.m. Okay? Prime time hours for trading futures forex stocks. At 8:30 a.m., do you think you could do what I just did on the T-bar chart, which is draw these zones, draw the box, turn on the trend lines, let the trend lines do the work for you, and take your entry anytime you see the signal where it breaks the trend line? Do you think you could have done that on all 3 of these signals? 1, 2, 3? And do you think you would have been able to capture a potential of profit moves that you see right here? This long move right here, this short move right here, and then this long move to close out the day. Do you think, based on what I just showed you, and keep in mind that didn't even take me less than a couple of minutes to draw that box. That's the hard work. That's the entire work, is drawing that box and capturing the highs and lows. And could you let the auto trendline drawing tool do the work for you? Now do you see the power of automating your trading and just simply taking the trade whenever you get the physical break of the trend line? Folks, don't let anybody ever tell you that day trading is hard, right? Throughout all of my videos, I've shown you how to take a chart that looks like this, right? Take this chart, turn it into this, turn on your trend lines, and just sit back and wait for a signal. And by the way, there is a loud audio alert that will ring on your speakers if you're not at your computer, allowing you to come back to your computer whenever you hear that audio alert and take the trade. I legitimately cannot make this system any more simple than it is. And you can see that the power of trading a trend, the power of drawing physical trend lines and taking those trend line breaks in the direction of the overall trend works almost every single time, to the point where you're going to be patting yourself on the back while all the other retail traders are getting stopped out trading bullshit charts like this. You're going to be sitting back patting yourself on the back that you're trading a chart that is today, as of this video, completely and totally automated, right? No more hand drawing, folks. This is the world premiere of the automated drawing tool, and feel free to replay that part as much as you want. You're going to fucking love it. All right? Thanks for watching this video. See you on the next trade.